Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Redacted Report. I am your host. Coming to you from an undisclosed location. In today's news, Halloween Ends has begun production. As most of you know, Halloween Ends is the third part to the sequel trilogy to the original 1978 Halloween, the John Carpenter masterpiece. And so far, the first two movies in this trilogy have been really good. I really liked 2018. Halloween Kills is pretty good. There's a few things I didn't care for in that movie, but I mean, nothing's 100% perfect, right? So, there's things that, like I said, I called Carpenter's 78 a masterpiece. There's things about that movie I don't like either, but I'm not that nitpicky about it as like some people. There are like some people out there who think that every film should have some kind of huge philosophical meaning, and it's like, dude, just watch the damn movie. But anyways, we're talking about Halloween Ends. They've begun production in Savannah, Georgia. They're kind of keeping it in the same region, but in a different state. Although Georgia's a great place, a very popular place to film movies now. That's where a lot of the Marvel movies are filmed, so it's a great place. It'll give you the great scenery that would represent a small Midwestern town of Haddonfield. I mean, like the first movie was filmed in South Carolina. Second was filmed, 2018 rather, was filmed in South Carolina. North Carolina for Halloween Kills, and now Georgia for Halloween Ends. And they said that I guess they're going to be moving to Salt Lake City, Utah. Which, if they do actually film in Salt Lake City, I mean, that could be good. There could be a few sets you could do there. Like, I believe that Halloween 5 was filmed in Salt Lake City, and if that's the case, you go to Salt Lake City, even though it wasn't the original Myers house, they should at least get a shot if it's still like a house, that Victorian mansion that was somehow the Myers house in Halloween 5. That should get a little spot in the movies. Maybe if it's still there, maybe that's where Lindsay lives or where Lori and Allison live. Maybe just kind of a little wink and a nod, because they do a lot of the nostalgia stuff, a lot of the throwbacks and everything, the Easter eggs. So that would be okay. But anyway, yeah, they've released some production photos, on-set photos, and we're going to talk about a couple of them. There's a few of them, but there's two in particular that we're going to talk about today that kind of will go along with my predictions for the movie. And of course, like I said, these are just my predictions. I don't know what's going to happen. And if you don't know already, the original premise of this whole trilogy was to all take place in one night, but I believe that during the 1 year delay because of COVID, they decided to change things up, and so now Halloween Ends is going to experience a 4-year time jump, which means, like, obviously 2018 Halloween Kills took place in 2018, so now we're doing a 4-year time jump to this time, to 2022, and they're going to obviously incorporate COVID and a lot of the stuff that's happened into the story. Which is actually not a bad idea, because, like, if you want to bring a kid like Julian back, and he's going to be a lot older. I mean, when you saw him on the TV in Halloween Kills, you can tell he hit a growth spurt. So now you can explain the growth spurt and explain why so many people look so damn different. So I don't have a problem with that. It does bring up a few questions, though, which I'll get to with this time jump. But let's take a look at the first photo, and we'll discuss it. Okay, now there is a good bit to look at and talk about in this photo here. Obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis on set as Laurie Strode. That's at least what we're assuming. I'm judging from the other pictures. I say this is her on set in her Laurie Strode getup. And if you look at a few things on here, look. For one thing, look at her hair. Her hair is actually, it's done. It looks nice. You know, it's not exactly the straight, stringy type of gray hair she had in Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, because she didn't really care about how her hair looked or anything, because she was basically spending the last 40 years preparing for Michael's inevitable return. But now, in the 4 years, it seems as if like she's kind of put it behind her and started to move on with her life. You know, maybe she's dating Hawkins, and hopefully Hawkins is the sheriff, and she's just trying to move on and have a normal life with her granddaughter and everything, and trying to trying to help her and everybody kind of get back to some semblance of normalcy, because, like, obviously Allison experienced a lot of the same stuff that Laurie did in 1978, even more so because Michael killed Allison's parents. Thank God he killed Ray. Kind of wish they didn't kill off Karen, because I liked Karen. I liked her a lot better than most people in 2018. And I thought she was really, really good in Halloween Ends. I honestly thought that she was kind of the glue that held that whole thing together in Halloween Kills. She was pretty good, and she did a damn good job. And of course, Judy Greer is a great actress, so I have no doubt about that. But basically, just to me, it looks like she's getting on with her life, which is great. She deserves to get on with her life. And it also makes me think one thing, that Michael is going to be captured and incarcerated again. He's going to be in jail or back in Smith's Grove or some kind of mental hospital for the last 4 years, because if Michael kills Karen and then gets away, she's not going to care about how she looks. She's going to be spending the next 4 years trying to hunt him down and literally tearing Haddonfield apart looking for him. So I'm thinking Michael was captured. She's content with it, and she's just trying to move on for her sake, for her granddaughter's sake, and for the sake of everyone in the town. Because obviously, all the people who thought she was just nuts and didn't really associate with her, found out that she has been right for the past 40 years. So there's a lot of eating crow in Haddonfield. But like I said, this picture may not be a lot, but to me it tells a lot about the story. Is like, I believe a lot of people may think that I've heard some people say that this could be just Jamie Lee coming to set and getting ready to go to wardrobe and getting her look right. That's a possibility, but there's multiple photos with this, and the next photo we're going to look at, it just kind of reinforces that this is what Laurie Strode is going to look like, and she looks like someone who's trying to look nice, trying to, live a life and not be held hostage by Michael Myers, held hostage, quote unquote. So that's the first picture. Let's take a look at the next picture. Now, this picture here, you can kind of expand on the previous picture. As they're in a bar, could be mixed bar, sort of like in Halloween Kills. They're meeting to kind of honor the people that Michael killed, maybe to celebrate his recapture and reincarceration. But like I said, much like with Laurie, look at Allison and look at Lindsay. They don't look like what you think they would look like if they had been. If I don't think they would be looking this good, this made up, and the hair done and everything, looking like that if Michael had not been captured again and reincarcerated, because they would all be living in fear. Laurie would be out hunting for him. I seriously doubt they'd be caring how they look, with the makeup, the hair, and everything. I just don't see that. So I'm guessing they're probably at a bar, obviously honoring the people, honoring Tommy and Sheriff Brackett. And Allison's mom and dad, Ray and Karen, Lindsay with her friends at Marion Chambers, they're honoring all of them, the fallen people. So I'm thinking, like I said, this just reaffirms my assumption that Michael Myers is indeed recaptured and been incarcerated. Because, I mean, that's I understand this kind of, you're rehashing it and just kind of doing it so he escapes again, yada yada. I get that. Sometimes with this 4-year time jump, they may have painted themselves into a corner, but I'll trust Danny McBride and David Gordon Green to make it work. They've done a damn good job of this movie so far. And when I first heard that it was going to be David Gordon Green and directing and Danny McBride writing and everything, they're the people who brought you Pineapple Express. And I'm thinking, what the hell are these guys going to do? Have someone throw weed grenades at Michael like Batman threw the kryptonite kryptonite grenades at Superman and Batman v Superman? I mean, I was skeptical, but they've done a damn good job so far with it. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, like I said, also paints another. It's just the question is, like, obviously, if he wasn't captured, where the hell has he been the last 4 years? I'm not sure. So I think that, like I said, This picture just reaffirms my assumption and my prediction that Michael had been captured after he killed Karen, because I'm sure the cops were on their way. I don't have Halloween Kills. I don't have a copy of it, so I can't really go back and watch it, but I'm pretty sure it was just paramedics there attending to Allison when Karen was upstairs and Michael's probably snuck in the back door. But I'm assuming the cops were on their way, and obviously they heard her screaming. They heard Karen screaming, and he was just staring out the window in a trance. So I'm guessing he probably just kind of, sort of like in the flashback scene in Halloween Kills, he just kind of gave himself up. Because he is... That's the thing about Michael, is people think that... I don't think he's a 100% supernatural being. He's obviously not fully human. But if he was 100% supernatural, he wouldn't care if he got stabbed. He wouldn't care if he got shot. He wouldn't care if the cops were after him. He'd just mow through them. Sort of like he did with the lynch mob. But if you watch Michael in these movies, he doesn't... obviously, bullets hurt him. Injuries hurt him. He goes out of his way to try not to get shot. That's a given. And he does get hurt. That mob hurt him. And if Brackett hadn't been so stupid to get right up close to him so he could slash his throat, I mean, he had 16 bullets in that gun. He could have shot him from 10, 15 feet away, you know. But he was messed up. So, and obviously with that 4-year time jump, that gives pretty much all parties involved time to recuperate, because let's face it, if they'd done it the same night, what's going to happen? I mean, Allison's got a broken leg. She looks like she broke her damn femur when Michael threw her down the steps, so she's not really battle ready. Lori, even though towards the end of Halloween Kills, it looked like she was doing better. That was just because she loaded herself up with that painkiller. I don't know if it was morphine or Dilaudid or what. So that's probably why she was halfway moving, but she wasn't 100%. And obviously Hawkins isn't 100%. So, and Michael wasn't 100%. So all parties involved need to recuperate. Lindsay was messed up. So all parties needed time to recuperate. And it would be hard to explain where the hell Michael has been the last 4 years. So he has to have been arrested again. That's the only thing that would really make sense. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, so he's going to break out again." So who knows? Maybe someone breaks him out. Maybe like there's a lot of crazy ass people, and they're talking about, like David Gordon Green said, that with the 4-year time jump, they're going to deal with the stuff that the world has dealt with, like COVID, and also in the last 4 years, the crazies have come out in droves. So it wouldn't shock me if maybe some cult-like figures break him out or aid in his escape. Of course, Michael will kill him, sort of like in the deleted scene of Halloween 5 where he killed that Dr. Death guy who resurrected him in the original cut of the movie, which was actually filmed. And go on YouTube to watch the scene. It's kind of weird, but like Michael's not going to... These people may worship Michael, but he's going to absolutely slaughter them because he doesn't give a rat's ass. So I say he's captured, and obviously he's got to escape somehow, because some people say that maybe they go into Smith's Grove, or they try to go into the prison, break into it to kill him, and that's where the final fight is. I don't think so, because judging by the pictures, they look like they're just normal. You know, someone who's going to storm a prison or a mental hospital to kill someone is not going to be worrying about makeup and their hair and everything. So I say Michael somehow breaks out again. I doubt it'll be on a transport. Although they could kind of rehash the original premise of Halloween 2018, where I believe Lori was supposed to be the cause of the bus crash that he escaped, because he was outside. She was waiting outside to kill him when she was sitting there sucking back those little mini bottles of whiskey. The original premise was she was going to try to obviously stop the bus and kill Michael, and she caused the crash and his escape. That might have been even better than the Dr. Loomis knockoff crap. That's one thing about 2018 I didn't care for. Dr. Sartain, we didn't need him. He was only there to basically... He was almost like a Deus Ex Machina to get Lori and Michael together. But you could have got Lori and Michael together anyway, because Lori was hunting Michael. She found him once when she shot him in the shoulder after he killed Julian's babysitter and her boyfriend. So You didn't really need that character, but it is what it is. Still a great movie. Still enjoyable. Just like I think Halloween Ends is going to be enjoyable. And there's a couple of other things that people have talked about. I believe David Gordon Green in the Halloween Kills commentary on the DVD or something, the DVD commentary, he mentioned that the radio tower that you see in the flashback scene where the Hawkins and his partner are sitting there like talking about the town of Haddonfield, and they're looking up over the hill and they see this big ass radio tower. David Gordon Green said that radio tower plays a big part in in Halloween Ends, and my first thought was actually because of the working title of this movie is called Cave Dwellers, which these pictures and everything give me a new theory on that. But my original theory was when it's called Cave Dwellers, it's obviously something about the movie. Like Halloween Kills was called Mob Rules, and that's because the lynch mob was out after Michael. So this is called Cave Dwellers, and I'm thinking when I heard about that, I'm thinking maybe there was like a tunnel, an abandoned tunnel system under the town that you could get, that there was access to from that somewhere around that radio tower, and that's where Michael had been hiding for the last 4 years, kind of lurking in the shadows, awaiting the strike. That's what I thought, or it was a spot where maybe the big climax happens, where Michael finally falls to his death off that damn tower, which that might kill him, it might not. Maybe Laurie and Michael are fighting and they both go over the tower and they both die. Who knows what happens? But now, because of my theory that he's been incarcerated and he has to break out again, maybe some people who kind of worship Michael, or just some people who are crazy ass people that are living in the caves around the town or something, they help break Michael out of jail. Maybe that's what happens. I don't know. Obviously, more stuff will be released. Of course, there's going to be leaks. So I will try not to leak spoilers if I ever do. I mean, I don't consider what I've talked about spoilers, but if spoilers are leaked, I will try, even if I talk about them on my channel in future videos, I will obviously warn people, don't want spoilers. I mean, obviously, you're going to see the spoilers. It's almost impossible not to. Some people will try their damnedest. I mean, movies get spoiled. It happens. It's happened for years. The internet, there's just as much bad as there is good with the internet. So you got to take it in stride. But I think Halloween Ends is going to be a good movie, and it's probably going to end the Laurie Strode chapter, and probably going to kill off Michael. They're probably both going to die. And I don't think by any means this is the last Halloween movie, but I think it would probably be best if they, after this movie, to sit on it for maybe 5 to 10 years and then maybe reboot it or redo the sequel. But who knows? This movie might make so much money that Blumhouse wants to crank out another sequel and they don't kill him. A lot of people want more Michael Myers movies. I'd watch them. I just don't want them to start cranking out sequels so bad they get progressively worse, Like, because that's when you get like Halloween 4, which I think is great, and that's my favorite Halloween movie, to Halloween 5, that's not so great. I mean, it's a bad movie, but I don't hate it as much as a lot of other people do. There are some redeeming qualities, and it's definitely watchable. And then you get H2O, which honestly I think that was just a nostalgic cash grab, and I didn't really like H2O. It was just too 90s for me, man. It was trying to follow the same damn formula of Scream, and they're two totally different movies. And then you had the abortion that was Resurrection, which the only reason that movie is not the worst Halloween movie is because Rob Zombie got his hands on the damn character years later. But just if you're going to do more sequels, just space them out and kind of make sure they're good sequels and not just a quick cash grab, because slasher movies are cash grabs because they're so easy to make, or so easy to make a profit. Because if you have a good antagonist, you don't even need, I mean, a good protagonist is good too, but if in a slasher movie, if you have a good antagonist, you got yourself a profit. If you got Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, even Victor Crowley or Ghostface, someone with that kind of recognition, it just works. And you can do them on the cheap. You can film these damn movies on a sound stage in the studio, and you can make a decent slasher for $10-15 million and release it in theaters, and you'll make at least 30. especially with these people, with the characters that I just mentioned earlier. They've got enough recognition to pull at least 30-40 million out of their ass on the minimum. Jason, Freddy, and Michael, those are the ones that can really make a profit. I mean, look at how much money the Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018's made combined. And Halloween Kills made a killing, even though it was released on Peacock the same was released in theaters. So those movies can make money. I just hopefully they don't go to cranking out a sequel every year that just the quality gets worse and worse, because I sure as hell don't want the Halloween series to turn into Hellraiser, because if anyone's seen the Hellraiser movies of the last 10-15 years, yeah, they're ridiculous. But those are basically my predictions on Halloween Kills so far. Or Halloween Ends, rather. Forgive me, I get scatterbrained. I think that Michael's going to be incarcerated. I think he's going to break out again, either on his own or someone helps him. I'm guessing someone probably helps him, because, like I said, if you're dealing with real world politics and real world stuff with COVID, I'm pretty damn sure that there's going to be some crazy asshole that's going to break him out. That would kind of make sense, because even though he's been obviously broken out, helped before, he's never been helped by someone. Well, I guess. You can call Sartain a crazy cult figure, but I don't know. But those are my predictions. I do think that both Laurie and Michael die in this one. I don't know how. Right now, maybe they fall off that radio tower. I'm not. A lot of people think it's like because they're manipulating using it to manipulate brainwaves, and it's kind of what makes Michael tick. And I guess if someone is pulling those strings with those brainwaves, that would explain why he hasn't done anything for 4 years. He's kind of been dormant, almost in hibernation, until someone brings him back again with that radio tower. I don't know. I guess that could work if you're going to have him not be incarcerated for 4 years and explain where the hell he's been. I'm not so sure if I would like that premise so much, but we'll see what happens. It's filming right now, so we never know. And obviously, when we get test screens, we'll probably get reshoots. You just never know what you're going to get. So, my predictions are, like I said, he's incarcerated again, gets broken out, kills a bunch of people, and Lindsay, Laurie, Allison, and Sheriff Hawkins, who should have been the sheriff in 2018, but I believe he'll be sheriff now, hunt him down and finally put an end to him, and Laurie sacrifices herself to take Michael out. I think that's what happens. That's the way I see it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time on the Redacted Report. Take care.